Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest football action as we are live for Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest. It's been a very interesting day in the Premier League. I tell you what, my win, lose or draw is in a bloody mess. I mean, this just shows you how football is a game of chance because it's a joke, an absolute joke what has happened. I said Bournemouth would win, they were winning 1-0 and they lose 2-1 to West Ham. I said Brighton would draw with Palace and they bloody lost. And I said Ipswich would beat Wolves and they bloody lost. So Robbie's running around with his top off somewhere in bloody London. It's a joke. It's a bloody joke. And I said Arsenal would beat Everton and the referee did me there. Just jammy. Absolutely jammy. I'm just gutted. Yeah, I'm gutted. Anyway, this should be a good game tonight. I reckon this is going to be a good game. So it's basically Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest, and it's a big game in the race for top 5. You can see the team news going round there. That's the Forest team. Sells in goal, Williams, Milenkovic, Murillo, Marato, Yates, Anderson and Gibbs-White, Dominguez, Alanga and Hudson-Odoi. And then the Aston Villa lineup is Martinez, Garcia. Let me just get that up on the screen for you. I'll get it up on the screen for you. Don't worry about it. You don't. I'll do it. I've done it now. Okay, so the Villa lineup is Martinez, Garcia, Disasi, Mings and Matson, Onana, Tielemans, Asensio, and then Malen, Rodgers and Watkins. Marcus Rashford on the bench, but a bit of rotation, if we're being very honest. I wanted to ask the question here. Has he rested players for the Champions League, or is this just very clever from Emery that he's got such a big squad that he trusts it? Because on the bench, you've got Cash, who I think normally would start. You've got Digne, who I think normally would start. Kamara and Konza would normally start. McGinn would normally start. And then Ramsey and Rashford, again, I think might normally start. So it just shows you the strength of this Aston Villa side. When I look at that Aston Villa side, I just see options. I see players, and, Asensio, Malen, Watkins, Rodgers, Onana, Tielemans, that is not a bad midfield and attack. But on the bench, you've got McGinn, Kamara, Ramsey, Rashford, and he hasn't gone with his first choice fullbacks either. So really good rotation options for Aston Villa. You've got to respect it. You've got to respect it. I respect it. Do you respect it? I respect it. But the interesting thing is they need to win as well. You can't rotate thinking about PSG on Wednesday. What's their better chance of getting back in the Champions League? Winning the Champions League or getting into the top 5? You could argue getting into the top 5. So I don't think he's resting players. I think he's rotating players and trusting these players to get him the results. Because looking at the results today, they don't really matter. Brighton lost, Bournemouth lost. So Villa don't need to look behind them. They're looking in front of them. Man City play tomorrow, Newcastle play Monday, Chelsea play tomorrow. All they can do is beat Nottingham Forest and close that gap from 9 to 6. That's their job today. So, look, interesting to see how it's going to pan out, I suppose. But, yeah. What a game we witnessed at Selhurst Park, says Gurav. Absolute cinema. Momentum is everything. Palace now 2 games to lift that FA Cup. Come on, you Eagles. Yeah, good result. Bournemouth drew, didn't they? Yeah, I mean, Bournemouth and Brighton have messed it up. They're not going to do anything. The only underdog that might get Europe is Forest. And I've spent all season writing them off. Big shout out to the Olivia, by the way. Went down the shops. People have been telling me to get this for hay fever, so I'll tell you how it goes a little bit later. I also got this Beckinase spray as well. I was reading what you do with it. It says it's a nose spray, and it says strictly only spray it up your nose. And you know what I instantly thought? Somebody has sprayed it up their arse, haven't they? You know, there's always somebody that's thought, let's give it a try. And there is always somebody. I used to go to A&E quite a lot in a former job, and the stuff that people do. Oh, I fell on it. How do you insert a light? How do you fall on a light bulb? And how does it perfectly go up your, you know what? There's always somebody who wants to spray Beckinase up their arse. Don't do it. Use it up your nose. But that's Greg. I instantly saw that it said strictly only spray it up your nose, and I thought, instantly somebody's done it up there, haven't they? Anyway, we're live. Villa's bench is incredible. Absolutely incredible. We've just been talking about that. Absolutely fantastic. Manchester derbies tomorrow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Man United against Man City tomorrow. Lyon on Thursday. Arsenal, Real Madrid on Tuesday. Yeah, I think the cup games that we've got left, FA Cup semi-finals, Champions League, yeah, Europa League, very excited about that. And the top 5 race is what I'm interested in the Premier League now. My prediction is that Villa will win 2-0, but my predictions have been really bad this weekend. I've been very, very unlucky. Liam Jones says it could unblock the wrong end. Yeah, I don't get the rotation. I like Villa against Forest, not PSG, says Constantine. Thanks for the first super chat of the show. Right, we're about ready to go. I'm just about going to start the lineup. But, yeah, I think I've been very unlucky with my predictions, as I say. But I do fancy Villa to win this today. But Forest are a funny old side. But I feel like Villa have got a bit of a momentum going at the moment. We're up and running. Reagan says, I'm really surprised Villa have coped with balancing being in the Champions League and in the Prem. Mate, when you look at their bench today, you won't be surprised. He's put a good team out and he's still got Cash, Digne, Torres, Kamara, Konza, McGinn, Ramsey and Rashford on his bench. Villa have got a bloody good squad. Very good squad. Well won by Gibbs White here, though. You don't want Forest scoring early. Bloody hell, you don't. Tackle him! I'm having a curry tonight. I think with the cold and stuff, garlic, spices should be quite good. I whacked a load of turmeric into my smoothie this morning. I don't know whether it's made me feel better or worse, but I'll try anything. I remember I had a sore throat once and somebody said garlic, so I chewed a load of garlic. Never again. Never again. Not raw garlic. Oh, God. What's your order? Well, you can help me. I haven't ordered it yet. So I was thinking about trying... Has anyone had a Boona before? What's a Boona like? I only know it from, like, Gavin and Stacey. Tackle him! You know what? I want to be doing that tomorrow for a goal. I want to have a good week as a United fan. Don't want to burst your bubble, but he met the king of guitar at the Red Verdict. Says Linda Searles. What's that? Lindy, what are you talking about? Mark, even though he's a City player, what are your thoughts on the fact that Kevin De Bruyne is leaving? Do you rate him as a player? Keep up the great work, says Ryle. Look, Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, but he ain't the best. That's all I'm saying. There's no need to be disrespectful. He's been very, very good, but he ain't the best, in my opinion. Boona is middle of the road spice-wise. See, I love butter chicken. I love chicken tikka masala. They're my favourite. Don't call him Fanta Pants, Carmichael. There's no need for anything like that. Balti. I don't think I've ever had a Balti, actually. I feel like something spicy. Lamb Boona is nice. Thanks for the super chat anyway, Ryle. Anyway, we're watching this game here. It's like watching Man City because they're light blue, Forest, but they won't be playing possession football. Gurav, you're telling us about Selhurst Park and I've literally already read it out. Do it again and you're blocked. Come on, I even read it out. Yeek91, thank you very much for your super chat. Onion fried rice and garlic. Onion fried rice? What's this madness? Sounds absolutely lovely. Onion fried rice. I don't want fried. I think I'll go pilau. I like pilau rice. What's a jalfrezi? Chicken, lamb. That's it. That's with the keeper. Don't worry about that. There's so many dishes, isn't there? Pasanda. Tender fillet of lamb, spice, okay. Macaroni, Boona, diced pieces of chicken with a combination of spices with tomatoes and fresh coriander. Jalfrezi. I can't even find a Balti here. Too much. What's going on? Right, anyway, back to the chat. We'll sort that in a minute. Chicken Madras, says Dan. Is that hot? Oh, Alex has dislocated his kneecap. Don't watch Forest much. Is this their formation, says JM? Yes, they will defend and count. I mean, they've got a brilliant defence. Milinkovic and Morello have been brilliant this season, and their goalkeeper's been very good as well. Curry, I hope Miss Goldbridge isn't smelling your farts later, says Lisa. Tell you what, Lisa, when you've got a cold, go for the best curry you can go for because you can't smell it. What about a Vindaloo, Mark? I've never had a Vindaloo, I don't think. Chicken Madras, says Dan. Fabian, thanks for your super chat. If I have to see Gary Neville or Fabrizio telling me to join Marriott again, I'm going to top myself, says Robbo96. Yeah, I think we've got... I think we spoke about that earlier, didn't we, actually? What about a Vindaloo? Balti pie at the Villa, says Ty. Linda's having steak with her husband. Good save, keeper. That was a good chance for Villa. Forest just look a little bit leggy here. There's a good bit of play down the left-hand side. I think it's Maatsen, isn't it? I like Maatsen. Always in the goalkeeper's favour there because he's shooting with his left foot across goal. How are you feeling? I'm all right. You know, I'm all right. I'm doing a bit better. I don't think you can go wrong with a chicken tikka masala, personally. Most clean sheets? Oh, no, that's just in their club history. Xander says, I've just seen a graphic saying that Milinkovic has played every minute of the last 29 Premier League games. How many has Bruno done, do you think? Probably not far off. Funky says, the thing about Maatsen is he isn't great defensively. That's the only issue with him. I really like him. I really do like him. Will you be at the Baller League on Monday? Yeah, we'll be live on Monday again from about 5 o'clock through till 10. I won't do the last game again, but big game on Monday. It's Angry Ginger's team against Santan Dave's. I do like Angry Ginger, but I really like Santan Dave's team because they're all just sort of like a little bit older, aren't they? My favourite is chicken tikka vindaloo with potatoes, says Dan. I'm going with the United win tomorrow, Greg. Hi, Mark. Trust me, this is a game changer. Cross comes in. I think that looked like it was a corner, but no, it's not. It's Asensio. Got there first. Thank you very much. I was just about to read something there. Andy Atherton says, game changer, chicken tikka dansak with vegetable pilau and a garlic naan and Bombay potatoes. Sweet, sour, spicy, delicious. I don't think Loz is there on Monday because he's off to Marbella to do a film shoot. It's all right for some, innit? I'll go to Marbella. I'll go to bloody Margate. What were your thoughts on Maya Jama, Mark? First time I'd met her, not really my sort of, you know, I wouldn't have seen her on, is it Love Island or anything like that? But she was a good laugh. She was actually a good laugh. Bruno has 18 goals, assists and 29. It's not the Bruno show. Get a lamb biryani and thank me later. I don't like biryani because it's got the rice with it, hasn't it? Leon Cox, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. Great start by Villa here in the first 5 minutes. Butter chicken mixed into lamb biryani is the best dish I've ever had, says United for Entity. People are getting really excited about curry here. I'm just looking at the curry house I use. I'm going to get it delivered. Well, I'm not actually. I'm going to get someone to go and get it for me. But I don't think they even do a Balti. Another shot from distance. This time Tielemans just goes wide. Sukabuni. Sounds like something sexual. Pieces of lamb or chicken cooked with tomato. Boona. Rogon Josh. Dansak. Someone said Dansak, didn't they? That's got lentils in it. Vindaloo. Chicken Balti. Very popular dish in the Midlands. Combination of herbs and spices makes this very tastefully spicy, garnished with onions, tomatoes, and generous touch of fresh coriander. No, I was looking for a Boona. Boona is... What's better, a Balti or a Boona? Let me know in the chat. I've never had... I can't remember having them. You can't beat a chicken fowl so hot, says Jason Marsh. Thank you very much. We're in the Midlands, aren't we? We love our curries in the Midlands. If you're not from the UK, let us know where you're watching, by the way. I don't know, like, curry... This is Saturday night, and we are watching football, but Saturday night is also about food. And in the Midlands, it is quite... and has been for a long time, especially Birmingham. We've got somewhere called the Curry Mile, which is in... Oh, is it Balsall? Heath, I think. It's just like it's not even a mile long, really. It's just an area where there's loads and loads of curry restaurants. Actually, when I lived in Dublin, you could get a good Chinese, but Indian takeaway was very difficult to get. I mean, it was 25 years ago. I don't know what it's like now. Hopefully the Gardener's playing on Monday, says Carmichael. Yeah, he was so good. That's going to be a cracking game, that one, I think. Santan and they've both got the best kits as well. Sort of like those two behind me, because one of them is Angry Ginge, and then the other one's not Santan Dave's, but it's modelled on that. Asensio or Elanga? What a great, great either-or, Echo. Let's do that. Very topical as well. I can't even spell Asensio. Not even going to try. There's literally no C in it. It's like Asensio. Elanga. Anthony Elanga. What do you think about Marco Asensio as a signing so far, says Flores official? I think he's been Villa's best January signing, and they've made some good ones. I think he's been the best January signing altogether. Here we go. Goal. Morgan Rogers, 1-0 Aston Villa. Villa have started off the better side. Forest have been... well, look, it's always good when Forest concede early because they are very much about the defence. And this is just a well-taken goal by Morgan Rogers. Forest just look a little bit down in the dumps today. There's definitely a kit clash here as well. Half of Villa's home kit is light blue and their socks are light blue. And yet, Forest are playing in light blue. This is poor defending, really. It's a great ball by Tielemans and... yeah, he's lost his man there. Whoever the number 4 is. Lost his man. Yeah, that's poor defending there by Nico Williams. Not Nico, Morato. Morato? Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about Murillo. Yeah, lost Rogers. 1 ball over the top. 1-0. Game on. Yeek91, thank you very much. He says, try ginger for your cold. Thank you. United for Eternity says, get in and shove that up your Forest, Nuno. So 1-0. We've got an early goal. That's a good start. Get an early goal in. Would you take Morgan Rogers at United? Well, yeah. Of course I would. We're short in that area. It's funny how sometimes you have to think, would I take Morgan Rogers at Man United? And it's almost like you think you're the United you want to be. Of course I'd bloody take Morgan Rogers. I'd take Buck Rogers. I'd take Ted Rogers. 3-2-1. Here we go. It's all Villa at the moment. They're playing so well. Oh, what a goal! What a goal! Mallon. Forest could get pumped here like a beach ball. Lovely play. What a goal. Maatsen. That is magnificent. All down the left-hand side. Brilliant, brilliant bit of play by Maatsen. Cross comes in. Mallon's there. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. Look at that Villa bench and then look at the starting lineup. Their squad is incredible. They make a mockery of teams like United, whose squad is threadbare. They've got so much going on. It just shows you doing business in January is clever. Lovely play by Maatsen. Mallon's well onside. Oh, it's so good. I love that. I love a good cross and a good finish. Tell you what, Maatsen's looking on fire, isn't he, going forward? They've got so many options in their team. I'd be worried. I'd be worried about Villa. If I was in the top 5 race, I'd be looking at Villa and I'd be going, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that. You know, they're doing really well. Doing really well. Look at that. They're up to... They're not up anywhere, actually. That's as it stands. But they would be... Well, they're up to 6th, joint with Man City, a point behind Chelsea. Obviously played a game more. But if United and Brentford could do something to Chelsea and City tomorrow, Villa looking good. Forest, I can't see a way back already. I really can't. Yeah, Newcastle are going to be favourites for it, but you know there is also Man City, and also Newcastle, I believe, go to Villa very soon. But look, somebody said it at the start. If you are Villa and you're trying to win the Champions League and get top 5. And you haven't got much of a squad, it's going to be quite difficult. But as I said, they're 2-0 up against the 3rd best team in the league. And on their bench, they've got Matty Cash, Digne, Torres, Kamara, Konza, Rashford, McGinn and Ramsey. Their bench is incredible. United selling Garnacho for experience is unacceptable, Mark. I guarantee you in 3 years with proper development he will be world class, says Rajaf. I think you might be right, mate. Reagan says Maatsen's a bit like Trent. Asensio has smashed Elanga, by the way, 68% to 32%. Villa bench so good, United could use this Rashi fella. No, I don't agree about that, Eduardo. I think that's a bad take. Rashford had his opportunity at United and wasn't putting the work in. He needed a change. He's doing well at Villa. It wasn't a mistake to get rid of him because he'd been given his chances. But talking about Villa, which is what we're here to talk about, they brought in 5 players in January. Mallon, Rashford, Asensio, Garcia and Disasi. Those 5 players have given them a squad and a boost. And all these chairmen out there or owners out there saying, we like to do business in the summer, we don't see the value of doing it in January. Well, they've all been made to look really thick because Villa have done stuff in January and look at what it's done for them. Moza says, from my comment earlier today, the signings, UTV up the Villa. Chinese versus Indian poll, please, Mark, says Paddy. Takeaway, I presume. We're not doing nationalities. Either or. Is Tielemans the most underrated player in the Premier League right now, says HPN. I feel with Tielemans, when he was at Leicester, he looked really good. And then he was being linked with Arsenal. I was told he was going to Arsenal. And then he seemed to just drop off a little bit and ended up obviously going to Villa, but he's a good player. Daniel Svensson says, with this squad and even more buys next season, I think Villa can win the Prem. You know what? I was thinking exactly the same thing. But it depends how many of these players are going back. Asensio will go back. Rashford goes back. I think Garcia, Malen and Disasi are permanent deals. I don't think they'll be selling anybody in the summer. But look, yeah, I agree. Villa have got some good squad options, definitely. Shout out from Portland, Oregon, says Distressed Wrangler. Shout out our North American viewers helping me out with my North American trip. Appreciate that. And Howder says, you sound like an 82-year-old granny from Southwest Scunthorpe when you were under the weather. Take care and get well. Happy weekend, Mark. I am. It is, yeah, I need to keep hydrating. Dean Smith says Indian has no beef, so that's a negative. Why do they not do beef? I've never thought about that. Is that a religious thing, or why don't they do beef? I've just realised there is no beef curry, is there, or anything like that? Yeah, it's sacred. They're holy. There we go. God, every day's a school day. I've never actually thought that they don't do anything to do with beef. What an idiot. Sensio with the shot, keeps it in. I don't see a way back for Forest now. They have been battered. Who battered them? Bournemouth did, didn't they? You can get a beef madras. Here's Alanga. He's on his own. What a run. Oh, he should have scored. He's done everything right. How did he not score? I mean, that was good. That was really good from Alanga. Does absolutely everything right, and he should score. Yeah, still, to be fair, he's still a bit far way out, but lovely play. What are your three most exciting teams to watch in the Premier League? And that's from... Hey, no one told me whether a Balti is better than a Boona. Chinese takeaways beating Indian. 59% to 41. Radcliffe will sell Rashford to Villa for a packet of peanuts, says 1 Inch Wonder. I want to get 40 million. I want him to come on and score a couple of goals. Who do you think are the three most exciting teams to watch in the Premier League this season? I think it changes a bit, mate, to be honest. Obviously, I'm never going to pick Liverpool because I don't like Liverpool. So I'm not saying they're not exciting, but I can't. Spurs are a good team to watch because the game's always open. I'm not saying they're a good team, but I like watching games with Spurs in it because of the high line and they play open. Forest in again here. And another shot wide. Hudson-Odoi. I like Bournemouth used to be quite good to watch. Obviously, they've run out of speed, but I still think Bournemouth are a good watch. I would have said Brighton would be considered up until last week in the Cup, where I found them bloody boring. So I'd say Spurs, Bournemouth, and Brentford are a good watch. I've watched a couple of Brentford games, and they're quite a good watch, home and away. Tackle him, says Brian. Hi, Mark. Went to watch my club Shrewsbury lose to second bottom Cambridge. Really frustrated as we're 14 points from safety and bottom of League One. Thank you for all you do and giving me positivity, says is Jonksy. You're going down, mate. 14 points from safety. It's not looking good, Brev. Steve says, ignores chats that say Bolty over Booner, then asks people to say it again and stops looking at the screen. How ignorant. Oh, grow up, Steve. It's not that deep, mate. Maybe try live streaming to 7,500 people yourself with a live chat watching a game of football. It's really not that deep. I am on the United stand tonight, Charlie, at 8 o'clock. Well, at least Forest have had a couple of chances in the last 5 minutes. Makes it a little bit more interesting, this game. Alanga. Also, to be fair to Forest, they do miss Chris Wood. He is a big miss. Pele or Maradona, says Constantine. I never watched Pele. I saw a little bit of Maradona. So I'll go Maradona. PSG have won the league, says Matthew. Don't they win it in August every year? Can't they give them next year's as well? You said... I don't know what he says. He says, Booner better than Bolty, but why order them when you can get a Jalfrezi? I think Sweden can be a top nation soon. Svensson, Holm, Chelsea talent in Chelsea, Gudmundsson and Heen all back line and midfield and front line is incredible. Well, see you in the World Cup, Daniel Svensson. Raids says, Chinese takeaway against Indian takeaway. Just get a Chinese curry, the best of both worlds. So 2-0 to Villa here after 25 minutes. Very predictable so far. Lots of rotation from Emery as well, but I'm not going to call it... It's certainly not a reserves thing. He's just got a very, very strong squad at the moment. Who do I think will be the next Spurs manager, Alex? I don't see Spurs winning the Europa League, so I think they will get rid of Ange. I think their next manager, they'll probably go for someone like Thomas Frank or the Bournemouth manager. But I think Thomas Frank might be the easier one to get. Chinese takeaway has beaten Indian takeaway 60% to 40%. Cornflakes or Rice Krispies, says Mazza. Cornflakes. Not that I eat either. Kicking it with Cade says, you're all sleeping on tikka masala. No, I like tikka masala. It's good. It's nice. Where is the intensity from Nottingham Forest, says Shaylan Griffith. Yeah, they've been second best so far. I still wouldn't say they're getting top four. I still wouldn't say it. I still think it's difficult. Guinness or lager, says Lord McFred. Right now, I wouldn't drink either. Depends on the mood. KFC or Burger King, says Leon Cox. I think I prefer KFC these days, actually. Yeah, I agree with you, Patrick. I think Frankfurt will knock Spurs out. Be a good game. Are they playing early on Thursday or are they doing them all at 8 o'clock? It's not though. No, I'm looking at the wrong place. It's the 13th, isn't it? Oh, no. No. April the 10th. Yeah, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Guns N' Roses at Villa Park. Mendes or Baldi and Neves or Camavinga, all under 21, says Sahil. I like Mendes and I like Camavinga, I think, out of that. Who is the one player that never played in the Premier League which you would have loved to play for Man United? It's easy, Barca. I really wanted Ronaldinho to come to United, and I'd love to have seen Zidane in the Premier League, but I think the big one would have to be Messi. I'd love to have seen Messi at 25 playing in the Premier League, just to see how it would have gone. Whatever happened to Soccer Box TV, says Ryan. I don't even know what that is. It's about 10 years ago, mate. It's amazing how that's not a penalty on Elanga, because it's not a penalty on Elanga, yet at Everton today that would have been a penalty. That's more of a penalty than the one at Everton, and that's not a penalty. Emery work at Villarreal, Sevilla and Villa is amazing, says Atora. Oh, pound for pound, Emery's a fantastic coach. He is absolutely fantastic. No doubt about it. Well, Villa 2-0 up. They've got a bit of breathing space now, haven't they? Wish I did. My nose is really blocked up. What we got? 31 minutes. Be 20 past. Nice ball over the top. Yeah, we were looking at this earlier. I think when you look at the race for top 5, and it will be top 5. I think we're safe to say top 5 will be they will all get Champions League football. Will Man City miss out? I haven't looked at Man City. I just assume that Man City will get top 5 because it's Man City. I'll probably do a video. Might do it tomorrow. Who will get top 5? But I think that, well, they've got Man United away, Palace at home, Everton away, Villa at home. I mean, that game against Villa is a big one. That Villa game's massive. Then they've got Forest in. Well, that's the cup. Don't worry about that. Wolves at home, Southampton away, Bournemouth at home, Fulham away. I think they've got enough wins there, Man City, to get over the line. But they're not that good. They're not that good. But I think Man City's running, they probably will do it. Whereas points on the table do matter. But Forest's running, we were looking at this earlier. Obviously, they're going to lose this one. Then they've got Everton at home, Spurs away, Brentford at home, Palace away, Leicester at home, West Ham away, Chelsea at home. They're just going to have to do what they did last season to stay up, and what they've done this year. They're going to have to make the City ground the fortress. Rashford can't play against Man United, no. Strictly CFC, no. Loan players don't normally play against their parent club. Free kick edge of the box for Villa. Rajaf says you missed my previous super chat. Rajaf. South Indian food has great beef dishes, Mark, says Rajaf. There we go. Worth waiting for. And Johan says, no Champions League for City. Let's keep the dream alive. I think they'll get it. I'd love Man City not to get Champions League football. It'd be hilarious, but I think they will. If I was picking my top 5, considering Arsenal and Liverpool are nailed on, I would like to see Villa, Forest and Newcastle, I think. But I do think it will be Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. I'm not convinced that Forest are going to do it, you know. It depends. They've got the points on the board, so let's say Forest, Newcastle. I think Villa might miss out. But then again, with the squad they've got and the momentum they've got and the competition for places they've got, I mean, look at these Villa players today. They want to play the Champions League. That's what this is all about. These players are playing for places in the team. And it just lifts the level. Lovely play by Asensio. Almost a 3v2. Wrong pass by Watkins. I don't know why he didn't go back to Asensio then. Marcel, welcome to the Members Club. Shah says, do you think Forest will drop off next year? Yeah, I do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not, you know, I think there's something wrong when Luton get promoted and then just get relegated. I think that's just like, it's sad, isn't it? But I think if Forest were to get Champions League football, then drop off next year, it's not a bad thing. It is if you're a Forest fan, but I think it's not a bad thing. It shows to other clubs that what's possible. And, you know, maybe next year it could be a Brighton. Are you writing Chelsea off, says Senso? I think Chelsea just need to prove it. They're better with Nicholas Jackson back. Although he's not a great finisher, he just makes them play better. If Chelsea go to Brentford and win tomorrow, I think it changes a lot of things. But at the moment with Chelsea, I'm just a little bit uncertain. Who scored the goal, says Keelan. Just joined in. Rodgers and Mallon. Oh, God, I'm getting tired now. Didn't get a lot of sleep last couple of nights. Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I think if Chelsea can go to Brentford and get a result, not many people do that this season. Here we go. Villa on the attack again. Tielemans. Cleared. Liverpool fan here. Love the content, says Marcel. I think that Murillo would be a good understudy for a Van Dijk for a year. Keep up the amazing job. Yeah, I mean, I was asked this earlier on. I don't actually think that... Forest will need to sell players this summer. So I don't see the likes of Elanga or Murillo going anywhere. But at 22, I think he's got a very, very interesting future. And if I was a Liverpool or an Arsenal or a top club, I'd be looking at him because And Milinkovic. Milinkovic has done very, very well as well. I think he might be a little bit older. I mean, I remember Milinkovic being at Fiorentina and Man United were looking at him. I mean, he's 27 now, so a little bit different. He's 5 years older than Murillo. But that Murillo, he plays like he's played in the Premier League for 10 years. He's like a proper experienced player. So, yeah, I think it'd be a good signing. Alex says, when is Romano coming back on the channel? I haven't spoke. Well, there's no story there. I just think that, you know, we were very happy to have Fabrizio on. He was on the United stand for years. He was even on That's Football for a little bit. He used to do, was it with Will last summer or the summer before? But Fabrizio's just got 20-something million followers, hasn't he? It's just gone to a different level. So never say never, but I don't think it will be happening in the future. And I think the problem was, to be honest with you, is that when we started working with Fabrizio, he wasn't necessarily as big as he is now. And I think towards the end, quite rightly, you were never really going to get an exclusive on the United stand, because why would you do that when you'd want to put it on your own Twitter or your own thing? So I think it was just a really good link-up that naturally sort of ran its course. Ladios says, I wonder what Fabrizio's net worth is. Well, yeah, I won't say anything. What about John Duran? Must regret it. Not Villa, though, says Terra Hewitt. Look, I thought it was a shame that Duran went to Saudi at such a young age, but Villa have done so well out of that deal that I don't think there's a Villa fan out there that would say, I wish we hadn't done that deal, because they're better off without him. Sirius says, I bet he's bloody expensive to have on the channel as well. I've heard 1k plus for half an hour. Mate, you used to be on for 15 minutes. So, Milinkovic was best centre-back in the Conference League last year. That's scouting, says Dr. Johnny. I remember United looking at him probably about 7 years ago then, because I remember him at Fiorentina. Real lost to Valencia today. We have a chance, says Tanishk. Yeah, I saw somebody on about that. I mean, Barcelona are going to win that league, aren't they? They lost 2-1 at home to Valencia, and their lineup was Rudiger and Tchouaméni played, Modric, Valverde, Bellingham, Mbappe, and Vinicius played. I don't know whether there was any rotation. Courtois, is he injured again? I don't know what the situation is with Real Madrid. But in relation to the league, it's very interesting in Spain at the moment, because Barcelona have won their last 5 in a row. Here's Gibbs White. Corner. Barcelona have won their last 5 in a row. They've got a game in hand, and they're 3 points clear at the top. So they're looking good, Barcelona, at the moment. Real Betis have won their last 5 in a row. Anthony factor. And they're playing Betis tonight at 8 o'clock. Did Forest not get a corner then? Why has Martinez got it? Paula says, did you try the hay fever spray that was recommended by a fan, as it was a lifesaver? I got this Becanaise stuff, which is apparently quite good. If this doesn't work, I will try that one as well. Oh, he's offside. Thank you very much, chat. Tanishk, thanks for your super chat anyway about Barca. Kevy says Barcelona haven't lost in 2025. This goes back to what we were talking about at lunchtime, though, doesn't it? Like, you've got the Club World Cup. Barcelona won't be in it. Liverpool won't be in it. You could have the La Liga champions and the Premier League champions not in the Club World Cup. It's such a shame that they've thought it through, like, wrong. You know? Salah, Nana and Rasmus to Bayern in the summer, says Enchanted Angel. Why? Are Bayern stupid? I don't think they're stupid, mate. They might be interested in Rasmus, but they're not going to take an Nana, are they? The best thing for hay fever is fexofenadine hydrochloride. Pal, took me years to find it. You can get it over counter or strong prescription, says Dale Hull. Thank you very much for that. Leper Messiah says, I think Forest are going to score soon. Well, it's half time nearly. Well, they just had a header straight at the keeper. Wasn't a great chance. Dean says Kelleher would be a good keeper for United. You can't go Liverpool to United though, mate. That's the problem. Seltz fan, do you like chip butties, which is chippy chips in bread and butter? Oh, yeah, mate. If it's white bread with plenty of butter and chips, oh, mate, I've not had one. I can't remember the last time I had a chip butty, but oh, they are magnificent. They are magnificent. Full of carbs, but do you think that Villa can beat PSG? Well, we're at half time here, so get your questions flying in. Hope you're all doing well. Let me, what was I doing? Let me have a look at the stats. Let's whack them up on the screen for you because it is half time. I'm really looking. Look, we'll be live on Tuesday and Wednesday for Arsenal, Real Madrid, and PSG against Villa. I think PSG really impressed me against Man City in the league stage, and also Liverpool. But what I will say is that I think in both those games, I probably undervalued PSG. I felt like they were the underdog and against the stronger sides, but they beat them both. So it'll be interesting in this game where they're favourites and Villa are the underdogs. So I think Villa have got a chance. I think the fact that the second leg is at Villa makes it interesting. But, look, Villa fans would have to tell me, you've got to defend well in the Champions League. PSG have got some really good quality players. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Villa got through. Who would they play in the semi-final? Do they play... It's Real Madrid or Arsenal, isn't it? I mean, that would be... Imagine if Arsenal got through Real Madrid and Villa got through PSG. I mean, I think everyone expects it to be Real Madrid PSG as a semi, and it will be great. That would be all the English clubs out, sadly. But I think when you get to this stage, you can look. I'm not convinced that the new league, Champions League system works. I'm not convinced by it, but I really do like the knockout stage. Absolutely love it. And, you know, regardless of whether it's PSG, Real Madrid, or it's Villa, Arsenal, or whatever, I think we're in for some really good games. But I have a feeling at least one of the English clubs will get through. Yeah. Fraser said, any thoughts on Mourinho's actions? If you're talking about the pinch on the nose, I just think it was childish from Jose, but I thought it was silly from the Galatasaray manager the way he reacted. They both was like watching two toddlers, really, wasn't it? I think with those sort of things, look, I don't want to take emotion out of football. It wasn't that deep. You know, let's not make a man out of a molehill. Kurz, thank you very much for your super chat as well. He got a 3-match ban. Yeah, I mean, he was always going to get a bit of a ban, wasn't he? But I just think it was, you know, a bit over the top. Cyrus says, Arsenal can't beat Everton, never mind Madrid. Well, they would have beat Everton if it wasn't for the referee. And look, maybe we're overestimating. Look, I can't wait for Tuesday because Real Madrid have lost to Real Madrid have lost to Valencia today. So they might not. Look, I'd say Real Madrid are favourites, but maybe Real Madrid aren't that good this year. I don't know. I've just heard something about something. I'm just trying to find out. Where can I write it down? There we go. I'm back. Would you buy into a football club, Mark? You know what? I feel like I know Angry Ginge does it. I know a couple of other people do it. And obviously Spencer started it off with hashtag. But we sort of... can you remember... What was it called? Not Baller League. Blood Brothers. Blood Brothers. Remember United Stand team and AFTV team? And I did quite enjoy it, you know. But it's a lot. You know, it's a lot. And the lads we had on the United Stand team, some of them were really talented. I don't think you can do what I do or, you know, what Robbie does and then run a channel as well, run a football team as well. But it's something I might get into when I'm older. I do. I love coaching. I love it. It's great. That's not a good sign. I'm starting to get bunged up now. Keir says, when you're older. Well, I'm in my 40s now, but like 10 years' time, I'm in my 50s. Why couldn't I run a football club then? Lee says, Mourinho has evidently not changed that much. I've not seen it, but I endorse his passion if it was funny one. Thank you very much, Lee. I'd love to have managed the team in the Baller League. Some say I should have done. Up the mighty Villa. Come on, says Avon. Yeah, let's have a look at half-time. 62% possession for Villa. 4 shots on target to 2. No corners, interestingly enough. But Villa potentially have won this game in the first 20 minutes. 2-0 up. A couple of half chances for Forest. They're going to do very well to get back into this game. The thing I still think it's going to be tough for Villa to get into the top 5. I know at the moment it's looking good, but they're having to do, and this is where I would give Villa and Emery a lot of credit. They're having to do things that are, you know, incredible, because going to Brighton and winning was difficult. I think didn't they go to Brentford and won as well? Forest at home is not easy, so they're picking up wins to get themselves back in this top 5 race. But there's no margin for error for Villa. Like Newcastle have got 2 games in hand over them. Man City and Man City. Chelsea are hungry. Forest have got, you know, 6 points on them, even if Villa win today. So Villa have just got no room for error at all. But very impressed with them. Their bench today is got so many good players on it. But yeah, looking at Villa's last few results, they beat Brighton away. They beat Brentford away as well. And I think, if I'm right. Oh no, they got done, didn't they, by Palace 4-1. Beat Chelsea at home at the end of February. So those wins have really got them back into it. Brentford away, Chelsea at home, Brighton away, and then today. They're on a good run. They're on a very good run. But I look at Villa, Southampton away next weekend, but it's sandwiched between PSG. They should win that game, and it's if you want a game in the Champions League, if you want Southampton. All right, it's away, but you want Southampton. Then on the Saturday, they've got Newcastle, who will have had the whole week off, and they've had the PSG game. So that game against Newcastle. Then they've got Palace away, which is difficult. Man City away. So, look, I think it's difficult for Villa to get top 5. They've got an amazing squad at the moment, but as I said, they're going to win this one. They've got themselves back in it. But their next 3 Premier League games, all right, Southampton away, you'd fancy them to win that. But Newcastle at home, Man City away, those 2 games are really going to dictate their season. May's not too bad for them, but they might have hopefully they've got a Champions League semi-final. Fulham at home, Bournemouth away, Spurs at home, Man United away. They might win all 4 of those, but the Newcastle game and the Man City game, I think they're the 2 that probably got to win if they want to get top 5. Oddie Grass says, I agree with the club buying up youth to succeed in our long-term endeavours. We are in the pits, mate. Glazers out. You've said patience before. I don't agree with it, Oddie. I don't agree with it because you're making too many assumptions and you're trusting the thing that you've just said Glazers out to. I think that Man United are buying young players so they can sell them. I don't think they're buying young players to build a team. And I can't think of a team in history that was built on young players. You've always got to have experienced players as well. Watched Real play these last few games. They play like absolute trash. Can't press to save their life. And Barca are miles better, says Max. I don't watch La Liga, but I hear this a lot. Real Madrid ain't all that this year. But what I'll always say about Real Madrid in the Champions League, well, they're something else. Paul Cherney has been VAR for 13% of them whilst making 40% of the VAR mistakes. It's absolutely ridiculous, says KZ. It sounds dodgy, doesn't it? It sounds absolutely dodgy. As a Madrid fan, sorry, let me have a look. I'll read that one. As a Madrid fan, I can say the performance today was horrendous. We conceded again from a corner. Confident about the tie, but not the game, says Urel, against Arsenal. I'm a lifelong Bayern fan, says Paul. I am so sad because Thomas Muller is leaving after 25 years. Greeting from Germany, keep it up. Thank you, Paul. I don't know whether we get many people watching from Germany, but thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate that. And look, all good things come to an end, mate. Muller seems to have been around for most of my life playing football, so I suppose at some point it was always going to come to an end. We don't get a hell of a lot of coverage over here. Is he retiring or is he going to go and play somewhere else? But look, I think he's respected so much in world football, and he's been a brilliant servant for Germany and for Bayern. And thank you very much for your message, Paul. Thoughts on Palace game? Sorry if I already spoke on it, says Eric. I haven't watched it. So he's retiring at 36, says Gene. Thank you very much. Can Palace challenge for Europe? Right. Well, they're not on that page. But they've got 43 points. Right. Can Palace challenge for Europe? Well, considering Europe could go down to 8th place, yes. They're playing better than Fulham, Bournemouth and Brighton at the moment. So they're not going to get anywhere near the top 7 because Newcastle, Villa, Man City, Chelsea are all going for that. Champions League spots. But Palace finished the season brilliantly last year, and they're doing it again this year, aren't they? If they could start the season well, they could be doing what bloody Forest are doing, really. Yeah, really appreciate that from Urel, by the way. I don't watch a lot of La Liga. Maybe La Liga is... maybe Real Madrid are vulnerable. Maybe we do overrate Real Madrid, but it's based on a long history of being very good. Thank you very much for that. When is the FA Cup semi-finals? I was just looking at that. It'll be April the 26th. I think Arsenal have had a game moved, haven't they, because of it? I'll tell you what, Arsenal have had more weekends off than a teacher this year. Let me have a look. I'm sure they've got another weekend off, Arsenal, now. Yeah, they play on the 23rd of April. And then they don't play in the league again until the 3rd of May. And that's because I think they were meant to be playing... I think they were playing maybe Palace or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's been moved, hasn't it? They've moved the Palace game to the Wednesday. Oddie says it's a long-term rebuild. We are so beat down, man. Mate, I think mate, honestly, we'll talk about it on United Stand at 8 o'clock. Remind me, but I don't believe in long-term rebuilds in football. I think they're excuses for people to make money. I don't believe in a long-term rebuild. I think football can change like that. Look at what Forest were doing last year and look at what they're doing this year. Look at what Leicester were doing the year before they won the league. Look at Chelsea last year and now they're in the top 5. You know, look at Villa under Gerrard and then what they are within a year under Emery. Football isn't about 4 or 5 year projects. Even Amrim said it today in his interview. I'm going to talk about it at 8 o'clock. Sky posted another Amrim interview, says Rajaf. Yeah, we're talking about it at 8 o'clock, funnily enough. Right, second half here. Can Forest get back into it? I think if they get the first goal, anything's possible. We're up and running. Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell. Okay. Yeah, looking forward to the derby tomorrow, but obviously more looking forward to the Lyon game. I mean, look, Manchester derby's always a big game of football. I'm looking forward to it, but the jeopardy of the Europa League is big. I mean, I don't know whether looking forward to it is probably the same for everybody, but it's that jeopardy, isn't it? It's like our season, our future rests massively on whether we can actually win the Europa League. Traore to Man United would be game-changing, says Lisa Reynolds. Adama Traore. Forest on the attack here. I think Villa have looked so comfortable, but look, Forest have got to show something in this second half. Joe Brindley says, why do you say it will take 5 years or more for United to challenge? Joe, I think you're probably quite... You obviously don't listen to what I said. I've said consistently I don't see Man United winning the title for 5 years. But I disagree with it takes 5 years to win something. Now, I shouldn't have to explain this to you because it's bloody obvious, but figure out what I'm saying. It doesn't take 5 years to win a title. But under this ownership, I don't see us winning the title in the next 5 years. Because they're talking about buying kids, development, not spending lots of money. So I don't think United are going to win the league for the next 5 years, but I don't think it's a blueprint for anybody to win the league. I don't think Liverpool are going to take 5 years to win their next league. I don't think Chelsea are going to take 5 years to win their next league because I think they've got a different approach to building a title-winning side. But Man United are basically saying, give us 5 years while we buy cheap kids. Oddie says, I agree, but that's our ownership. It's where we are. Well, doesn't mean we should be okay about it. I'm a big fan of Baller League, says Tony Snooker fan. I enjoy it. Good, Tony. I'm looking forward to it on Monday. Who do you want to win this? I don't really care, actually. I don't really care who wins. I think Villa will win it. I predicted it before, but I think for the top 5 race, it makes it more interesting if Villa win it, because I think if Forest had won today, that would basically be them sorted, and Villa would probably be out. Villa have got no margin for error. They need to keep winning, so I think it makes it more interesting with Villa winning. Kevy says, I agree with you, Mark. Look at Barcelona last season and now. Exactly. Sath says, what are your plans for June and July when there's no football? Mate, we're so busy June and July with United Stand, like every year. I remember when I first started doing this and I thought you get the summer off, and you don't. Like, the transfer window it's just a different... I mean, Fabrizio's busiest time is May to August, isn't it? It's like there'll be so much going on, ins and outs and bullshit. So Alanga got substituted at half-time. I don't know why that was. Yeah, answers on a postcard for that one. Might have had a knock. I'll see if I can find anything out for you. Konza's on for Garcia as well. Went for a haircut yesterday wearing United jersey. Barber was wearing Liverpool jersey. I was nervous for a bit, but got really good cut and a shave, says DV. Thank you very much for that update. I don't think he's going to do anything to you, mate. He's got the higher ground, literally, in the league, and you're sat down on a chair. James says, can you confirm that you think United will win the league under Glazers or Ineos? I have to hope they're going to win the league under them. From what I've seen so far, depends how long they're going to be here, mate. Like, at some point, I think cycles do change. And, you know, if they can find a way where they start bringing proper revenue into the club, then, and they buy rights, then, you know, who knows? But I don't see it in the next 5 years, and I don't know whether I don't know. No, I don't see it really. Johnny says, Mark's not from Nottingham, he's a Bingham man. Bingham is in Nottingham. Tell you what, I'm looking for you know when you feel a bit cold, you know when you're feeling a bit under the weather and you feel a little bit chilly, even though it's not chilly. That's a weird thing, you know, when you've got like a fever, but it's boiling hot outside. I'm just looking forward to a hot bath. Yeah, I went to 2 Till Comprehensive in Bingham. Still no statue. I drove past it the other week. Ungrateful, that's what they are. I've got to be in the top 3 most famous people that ever went to that school. Nothing. Haven't even asked me to do a speech. Goal! Oh, what? How's he missed that? Williams, what a prat. That should have been 2-1. Would have been onside as well. Genuinely thought this would be a goal. Cuts inside. How do you miss from there? Bloody hell, mate. About level with the penalty box. I mean, he is a fullback, but... Nah, I'm not having that. That's terrible, that is. Terrible miss. Leopard Messiah is one of the members. Thanks for getting your badge in. Says, I'm a Liverpool fan. I hope you get consistently top 4 again. I want honest competition. I always felt that with Liverpool. You know, we had another shot just wide. I always felt that with Liverpool as well. Like we won a lot of Premier League titles. And we had a great rivalry with Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City at the end. But it was very rarely Liverpool. And I think a Liverpool-Man United title... I mean, when was the last time there was a genuine Liverpool-Man United top-of-the-table rivalry that lasted more than half a season? It'd be great. Forest have started well in the second half here. Oh shit, I've lost my live chat. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. We've got the Champions League watch-alongs Tuesday, Wednesday. What big games they're going to be. I think the return of the Premier League's been a bit slow. I thought the midweek games were meh. These weekend games have been a bit better. But Champions League on Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, can't wait. Daniel can't understand why Elanga was substituted. I don't either. Joe says, what 2 or 3 sources are the most reliable on transfer news? I think in relation to United, knowing how United work now under Sir Jim, Ornstein and Romano seem to have it locked down. You get occasional stories that get broken, like the Branthwaite story got broken by, was it Nathan Jones and Chris Wheeler in the Mail? But 99% of it, it's Ornstein or Romano, and I think there's some sort of relationship there because, yeah, they've got it locked down. Everyone else is crap. There's no other good source out there. There's a lot of people out there that pretend they know stuff, but everyone else is crap. But as I said, like, you do get little bits, like Amorim wants to sell Romano. Doesn't want to sell Romano. Amorim wants to sell Onana, and we are very, very, very confident that we'll get Delap. Do you regret Muller not coming back in 2014, says Saf? I think he'd have been a good player, yeah. Foul throw. Don't see many of them in football. Foul throw. I'm terrible. I always used to give foul throws up. Terrible at them. Brooklyn says you're not getting Delap. Well, I tell you what, that's what. Check out the video this morning. TJ says, by the way, United have been an average of 30 points off the league since 2013. That's terrible, isn't it? Goal! They've got one back. They've been terrible. Second half, Villa. What? It's like Jekyll and Hyde. It's like night and day. It's unbelievable. And I think he came off the bench, didn't he? Is that Jota? Wow, it's a scrappy start by Villa here, and you'd question... Bit of a deflection, to be fair, but 2-1 becomes a very dangerous scoreline now because they'll get nervous. Give Nuno a bit of credit here. They've done well to get back. Game on. Half an hour to go. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't rule it out now. It's an amazing game. Football's an amazing game, isn't it? As the late, great Jimmy Greaves used to say, it's a funny old game, isn't it? Forest on the attack again here. Oh my God. Could have been 2-2. What are they doing here? What are Villa doing here? Squeaky bum time if you're a Villa fan. Cruising at 2-0. And they're under the cosh at the moment. Corner to Forest. I used to love Saint and Greavesy. I still watch old ones on YouTube when I get home drunk sometimes. Headed away from the corner. Villa need to find some attacking impetus here. And he's got lots of options on the bench, and I think he'd be warming them up. Because Villa can't afford a draw. Need a win. Daniel says, I think Forest have already, across the game, created enough to be level. They have created a lot of chances. They're in again here. Hudson-Odoi, Anderson. Oh, I tell you what, just wide. Villa are really in trouble here. Early prediction for Baller League winner, says KB. United. I think they'll win it. From what I've seen, I think they look good. I quite like Santander's team as well. I just, you know, Lee says Saint and Greavesy is its own language, Mark. I listen to the theme tune when I'm bevied. Mate, Saint and Greavesy theme tune takes me back. You know, like music can take you back. It takes me back to being 10 years old again, watching Saturday lunchtime TV with a bacon sandwich. Just great times. Rashford's coming on, Ramsey's coming on, and Kamara's coming on. I'm surprised McGinn's not coming on as well. Emery's fuming. He's got my trainers on. Emery's nicked me trainers. I've been wondering about something, says Howder. Do you think that the period from Ferguson left until now, and it might continue by the look of it, it's the same as the 30 years dry period of Liverpool? I think, look, football goes in cycles, but the reason United have been so crap for 10 years is because the Glazers have run the club into the ground. It's got nothing to do with cycles. It's sabotage, isn't it? It's not cycle, it's sabotage. Hi, Mark. Think United will win 2-1. Looking forward to the game tomorrow. I've got United winning tomorrow, Leon. Yeah. I tell you what. I love United stand. And I love the new setup behind me. It might be the light, actually. I was going to say I think it looks better on That's Football, but I think it's the light. I've got a blue light on behind me, I've just realised. What do you think Forest need to do now to at least draw? Especially now Rashford is on, says Youngs. Just keep at it. Just keep at it. Sol Campbell or Rio Ferdinand, says Constantine. Ferdinand. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's just because he played for United. Sol Campbell was very good, but yeah, I think Ferdinand, yeah. Right, it's gone for a corner. I'll be back in 10 seconds. I know Richard Ashcroft said the drugs don't work, but paracetamol, they do. Oh, it's all kicking off a little bit here. Storm in a teacup? Don't know. I tell you what, I've always thought, I don't know who does their marketing, but you know these, and I'm not going to give any of them a shout out, but you know these food delivery services? I do a lot of Saturday night watch-alongs. It's just such a good fit. Who scored for Forest, says Armenian. I think it was Jota. They need to win. Villa need to win this. Forest is still in a good position even if they lose. If they can get a draw, it would be, I think it kills them off. Oh, I feel rough. Still got to do United. Stand at 8. I did worry about this one. I did the Arsenal game at lunchtime, and this one, to me, I wasn't sure I was going to do it. It's a better game. I'm glad I've done it, but I'm fading out here. I think Forest are going to score in a minute. Good play by Mings. He is a Timu. Jota is a Timu Grealish, isn't he? What's she done with her hair behind? See her. She's got long hair, but shaved it here. But only this bit. And then she's got long hair there. Stylish, maybe. Villa, 2v1. It's a tap-in for Rashford. What a save that is. What a save by Sells. That's a big save. That could have been 3-1. Who was it? Was it Asensio? What a save. What a save. I think it was Asensio. No, yeah. Or is it Watkins? No, Rodgers. It was Rodgers. He did well. Good bit of skill, but brilliant save by Sells. Mallon's gone off for Ramsey. Watkins has gone off for Rashford. Kamara's gone off for Onana. Watkins looked very rusty. I don't know whether he's been like that all season for Villa. Lovely play by Forest here. Use Hudson-Odoi. No, he's kept it. Gibbs White. Shoots wide. Good game, though. Good game. You can't argue. It's been a good game. Woman driving says Arsenal versus Everton was a good game. Okay. You must have had a really boring day if that was a good game. Get really open game now, says Reagan. Hot toddy. This is a really good game. Very open. And it just shows you, like, football can be very entertaining when it's not system, play between the lines. Good shot, just wide. Gibbs White. This is chance after chance after chance. This is a great game. Addy says, I thought Forest can only counter. No, that's their plan A, isn't it? I mean, if this was 0-0, they wouldn't be playing like this, would they? If it gets back to 2-2, they'll change how they're playing as well. But this is why it was a bloody nightmare for United to concede so early on the other night, because that just means Forest will sit back and do what they're good at. But Villa scoring early in this game has made it a better game. E. Waters says, I've played the game, and this is a great game. He's Ramsey. I like him. Great save again from Asensio. Sells is having a good game. Let's have a quick look at the stats. There we go. I mean, look at that. 14 shots for Forest to Villa's 9. They've really ramped it up in the second half. Not many on target, though. I think that's been the problem. Will Chelsea win the league in the next 2 or 3 years? Says Schofield. I don't see Chelsea as title winners elect at the moment. But 2 or 3 signings can change that. They need a goalkeeper. They need a striker. And they need some of their younger players to develop a little bit. But I don't see them as title winners at the moment. I still think, you know, Liverpool, Arsenal are where I'd be looking at, maybe City. Please be my best man at my wedding, says Wesley. Your best man's got to be someone who knows you, mate. I couldn't do any bloody jokes, could I? Thanks for the offer, though, pal. You should visit California when you come to the States, says Louis. Big place. Reagan says, boiling water, lemon, lemonade, whiskey, honey is a hot toddy. Will sort your problem out. James says, Man United is going to bottle the Europa League. Well, you can join us on the United stand on Thursday night for that. But here we are watching Forest against Villa with 20 minutes to go. Please do your Carrot impression. You do realise I'm not feeling very well at the moment, so any impression is probably not going to be that good because my voice is a little bit different, but I'll try and do Carragher. When I look at that Manchester United side, it's about the players. It's about the structure. Jade says California had great weather when I went there. I think it has great weather most of the time, doesn't it? It's quite a warm climate. I did see the under-18s result against Leeds earlier, Andrew. Was it like 13-1 or something like that? I mean, how do you get beat like that at that level? Mark, you need a rest, says Ray. I do need a rest. It's not going to come, though, is it? Villa on the attack. Tillemans, good shot. Sells probably, arguably, man of the match. He's made some good saves, despite conceding two. I'm having a curry for dinner, mate. The order's gone in. Looking forward to it, actually. Well, that's one thing. When I don't know about anyone else. When I get a cold, like, you know, runny nose, headache and everything like that, I eat like a pig. Like, what does it say about starve something? Feed a cold and starve a sore throat. I think you starve a sore throat because it hurts to swallow. But that's what she said. But yeah, I eat so much when I've got a cold. I've had so much crap today and yesterday. Starve a fever, feed a cold. There we go. McGinn's on. Not that. Jeff Thomas says, feed a cold, starve a fever. That was it. Here's one for you. 15 minutes to go. Eyes on the prize. Good game of football. 2 subs being made by Forest here. Get in the comments. A bit of a radio show, this. Get in the comments with they call them old wives' tales, but things that you were told or have done that have no logic to them at all. Like, I was always told... Oh, God. Sneezing now. Oh, my nose is so sore as well. I was told, like, things like this. Like remedies. Cheese before bed will make you dream. Harvey Lewis, perfect. I was told if you've got a runny nose, wear a pair of socks to bed, but put that Vicks Vapor Rub on your soles of your feet. Oh, no, not a pen. Yeah, eating carrots improves your eyesight. Purple, yeah. Yeah, going outside with wet hair makes you get sick. Yeah, I do need to put my head over a bowl of steaming water, AL. It will help. Right, Forest on the attack. Straight into Martinez's hands. 15 minutes to go here. Yeah, crusts on the bread make your hair curly, says Jakey. Do Forest deserve a point? Well, another header wide. I think they've had a lot of chances. A lot of chances. And I think on the balance of the game, I'm getting to the point now where I think Forest do deserve a draw. I never thought I'd be saying that at half time because I thought Villa had a really good first half. But second half, I mean, I based on the first half, I was saying I think Villa might have a chance against PSG. Based on the second half, I just wonder what PSG would do to this defence. Forest coming forward again. Villa just can't get any momentum. Another shot, another... I tell you what, it's getting a bit silly now. It's been a great game to watch because there's been so much action, but... I mean, Forest's second half have just been relentless. Mickey says, how many wins till Liverpool win the league? They're 11 points clear with 7 games to go for Arsenal. So 7 threes is 21. If they win tomorrow, they're 14 clear. So I'd say 2 or 3 games time, you're probably going to win it. Maybe 4 or 5 if you drop points, but it's inevitable, isn't it? You've just got to wait till it happens. The wall is definitely not leaning again, mate, although you did make me panic for a minute. Here's Villa. Good play. Oh, it's just behind him. Villa still on the attack. Rodgers cuts it back. Kamara over the bar. We're only 50 subscribers away from 314,000, by the way. Please do click the button in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe. Everyone's welcome on That's Football. Don't matter who you support. 10 minutes to go. Bumbill says, people allergic to pollen should stay clear of honey and all honey-related products. Honey is filled with pollen from countless plants. There we go. Somebody actually told me to eat honey from a local, local honey. I don't know. I don't know whether that's true or not. AI says, while the idea of local honey helping hay fever is appealing, there's currently no strong scientific evidence to support its use as an effective remedy. Sounds like it might be a bit of a myth. Oh my God, another chance. Another chance, and it's gone wide. I can't speak. I can't speak. I mean, it's a difficult angle to score from, and I think Martinez probably has got it covered. And that's stunning. Absolutely stunning. Fulham, Liverpool watch along tomorrow, says John T. No. I'd rather do Chelsea, Brentford, and I'm not doing that either. Manchester derby tomorrow for me. I can't risk the throat or the voice. That's my focus tomorrow. Daniel Svensson says, I think Forest deserve to win now. Well, we can only say deserve to draw because they're not drawing. But here we go. Go wide to Rashford. Oh. Here is Rashford. Do you have relatives from Liverpool? Your Scouse accent is quite good. I think if so, embrace it, Jamie Carragher. Not as far as I'm aware. No one's ever told me that I've got any Scouse relatives. So, who wins the West London derby tomorrow? I think it'll be a draw. Which derby delivered the best entertainment so far this season, says Sullyman? Oh, mate, I don't know. I'm not that sort of person. I don't have an encyclopedic memory of games, if I'm being honest. I watch and move on. I'm a brain dumper, me. I'm very good at studying for something and remembering it, and then I brain dump. Everybody does things differently, but I realised this when I was in my 20s. I'm good at like learning something and then I dump it. That's the way my brain works. So if I watch a football game, I'm engrossed in it, and then I wouldn't be able to tell you who Man United played in November. If you told me the game, I'd remember it, but I can't remember. Corner to Villa, 7 minutes to go. Score prediction for tomorrow, says Oliver. I'm going with the United win. Man City have been crap this season by their standards, and I feel that United, in these types of games, when people write us off, we tend to turn up. Reagan says, do you think Rashford will stay at Chelsea if they get the Champions League spot or win the Champions League? I think if they don't get Champions League, I think he won't. If they do, I think there's a chance. Forest on the attack again. Should have cut that back. Didn't do very well. Still 6 minutes to go here. 6 minutes to go. I'll tell you what, Villa need this win. I know we're saying Forest have been knocking on the door and maybe they deserve it, but as far as the race for top 4 goes, top 5, if Villa draw this, I think they've blown it. So for the top 5 race, I hope Villa can hang on. And another chance just missed. Martinez gets in the way. Yellow card for Martinez, taking his time. God, I'm desperate for a piss. So, well, look, we all do it. Rashford, finish it. Oh, good tackle, Milenkovic. It's not time to make a change. Just relax. Take it easy. Surely Villa have got it done now. 5 minutes to go. Be a big 3 points. But yeah, I'd be worried about Villa, how many chances they've gifted up this second half though. Another corner for Villa here. Put like 25,000 quid on over 3.5 goals. Wish me luck, says Est. Oh God. Who won the Grand National? Would I want Arteta at Man United? I don't think the manager's the problem. Cooking with Goldbridge back soon, says Alex. I'm doing another live stream this week, like I did the other week on my channel. Mullin's son won it. I don't remember him being one of the favourites. No, Nick Rocket won it. Sorry, that's what most people are saying. Would you still take Branthwaite? Not for that price, Cristiano, no. No. Another corner to Villa. Do you play Super 6, Mark? Well, I used to, and then I fell out with Sky Bet, so. I feel Frimpong going to Liverpool. Oh, that'd be a great signing. Armenian man. He would. Yeah, I'm on United stand at 8 o'clock, yeah. I'm going to go and have my curry now. And I'll be on at 8 o'clock prompt because I want to... I want to get in bed tonight. Yeah, I think Forest are going to run out of time here. But as I said, I think for the top 5 race, Villa winning just makes it more exciting. But Villa have still got to play Newcastle and Man City before the end of the month. And those 2 games, again, they need to just keep winning. Villa are playing catch-up, aren't they? Forest have still got 6 points on Villa, so you take the points, wouldn't you? I mean, this is how it stands at the moment in that top 5 race. And Villa, although they've done very well, look at their goal difference, it's 0. So Villa are doing really good, but it's going to be tough to get top 5 for them. They've just got to keep winning. User, I think Newcastle are in the driving seat, yeah. I mean, obviously they're going to beat Leicester, which is going to put them right in amongst it. And then they've got United at home, where I think they'll beat us because it's in between Lyon and also they're better than us. Then they've got Palace at home, which I think they'll win. Villa away will be tough, but, you know, they can probably afford to lose one of those. Ipswich at home, they'll win. Brighton away, I'd fancy them. Chelsea at home, I'd fancy them. Arsenal away, maybe they lose that. Everton, I mean, I can see Newcastle winning. I can only see them dropping points in 2 games, so I think they've just got the better running, really. Isabella says, what's your thoughts on the penalty in the Arsenal game? Horrendous. Horrendous. Scandalous. Disgusting. 4 minutes added on. Murillo's just hit the bar from 30 yards. What a hit. Martinez says he had it covered. I think he probably did, but it's a good hit. What a player. This Murillo needs signing up by somebody. Really, really, really exciting player he is. You can see him going top level. Forest don't deserve to lose, says Daniel. I don't think they do, but I think in the context of the race for top 5, it makes it more exciting, doesn't it? We haven't got a lot to be excited about. I mean, bloody Ipswich going from 1-0 down to losing at home to Wolves. What a bunch of prats. Basically relegated themselves. Here's Rashford through against Milenkovic. Sells saves again. What a game. My man of the match. Who's your man of the match? Sells. Milenkovic there in a foot race with Rashford. Never going to beat him, but Sells makes a great save. He's been brilliant. Ref's done a good job, actually. Ref's done a good job. Yeah, fair play. I think you should shout out referees when they let a game flow. And the game has flowed really well. I've really enjoyed it. We've had so many chances in the second half. I mean, I don't know. I can't break it down into halves, but 17 shots to 15. Right, we've got a late corner here. 1 minute to go. Villa cannot not win this game. They need to win it. Now, I think a lot of people would say Forest deserve a draw. But this would be a hard... The cross is good. It's away. Gibbs White clears it. I think that's going to be it. No, it's still a minute to go. Morgan Rogers goes long. Tackle him! Tackle him! Yeah, I'm at 8 o'clock tonight, United Stand. We'll be talking about we're talking about Amorim saying he can win the title at Man United. So we'll talk about that. Goal kick. That should be it. 30 seconds to go. Big win for Villa. And that's the final whistle. Big result for Villa. I think it's the best result for the neutral in the race to top 5. Forest been a bit unlucky today. Second half they played really, really well. But yeah, it's a big win for Aston Villa. And Forest, look, if they play like they did in the second half, they will get. That's the best I've seen them play. I don't watch that much of them. And I have said they're quite a boring team to watch. But the way they played second half, if they play like that, they're going to cause teams problems. So, yeah, they were very good second half. And I think this race for top 5 is going to get very interesting. Rashford is focused on scoring in the wrong box. Seen a few DM leaks with a few stars, says Louis. Okay, well, we'll leave that one there. I'm on the United Stand at 8 o'clock. I'm off to have my curry. I'll speak to you over there in a bit. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe. And we'll have some content on here for you tomorrow. And of course, we've got the Champions League watch-alongs to come. Speak to you in a bit.